Hello and welcome to today's episode of Dragon's Daily Dose. It's Smaugonite here, and today I'm going to ask you to imagine something for me. So, picture this. You're about to play a game against somebody, let's say a Chaos fan. Somebody using something like Khorne Demonkin or World Eaters, something like that. They've put their army on the tabletop. They've deployed their entire army, and it's now your turn to deploy. And what you do is you deploy one model. Okay, so you put down one model of Lion L. Johnson. So you put Lion L. Johnson in your deployment zone, but that's the only model you put down. Your opponent then looks at you a bit confused, and you say, "Don't worry about it. I've got some things in Deep Strike." You then roll to seize the initiative, and let's say you're very lucky and you do seize the initiative. So you move forwards with the lion, you do his shooting attack. He's not close enough to charge anything, so he's kind of not out in the open. Perhaps you're a bit clever and you put him behind cover, or you use the cover to your advantage where appropriate. And it's now your enemy's turn. Your enemy then moves everything so that either they're best suited for shooting or able to maybe try and get a wonder charge off on turn one or something. So they reposition, they then start shooting. Obviously the lion has the Emperor's Shield, which is so cool, it's unreal. And the lion gets shot at because that's the only target that your enemy's got. So you shoot, your enemy rolls, shoots, and gets quite a substantial amount of hits, quite a substantial amount of saves for you to take. And let's say you fail a couple. You know, the lion's got sort of 2-3 wounds left at the end of it all. That's how many you fail. And it looks like, well, actually, you know, this might not have worked. They try for a wonder charge, maybe they get one off, and maybe he's now in combat. But the likelihood is they probably wouldn't be able to. Now it's your turn too, and all of a sudden the skies part. There's a beam of light onto the tabletop, and Belial with his Deathwing Knights arrives, lands right in front of their Primarch, defending him in a semicircular fashion. And it's now in between the Lion and the Chaos Space Marines, or the armies of Chaos. There is now a wall of Deathwing Knights and Terminators that have just deep struck onto the battlefield. They've not scattered, especially if they're in Belial's unit, but they've just landed there, and they're now daring the Chaos Space Marines to charge at them because they're angry. You know, the Lion's just taken a lot of shooting attacks, and Belial and his Deathwing have been called to the battlefield to defend their Primarch. Now, how cool is that, right? That's something that I had an idea of when looking through the Codex and saw the formation for the Dark Angels, the Deathwing formation, and I think it's called the Deathwing Strike Force, perhaps, something like that. And I saw that and thought, actually, with Belial as the character for that formation, it would mean that they wouldn't scatter, especially if he's in the unit, the 10 Deathwing Knight unit, which is kind of the one you don't really want to scatter. The Terminators, they're cool, and they've obviously got their chain fists or power fists. I've done mine with chain fists. You'll probably see in the Work in Progress Wednesday video that we'll be doing tomorrow that those models, because I think I'll put those in. But you want the Deathwing Knights with the Maces of Absolutions to land there and be ready for a fight, because I think they can also run, so you could maybe even run a little bit closer so that there's a definite charge from your opponent. Actually, I've just looked. It's the Deathwing Redemption Force formation. So yeah, so that's basically why I built an army like the one that I have built. So it's got Belial, 2 to 5 or 2 Deathwing Terminator squads, and then a Deathwing Knight squad. So and it has preferred enemy Chaos Space Marines, and then units in this formation can either shoot and then run, or run and then shoot in the shooting phase when they arrive by Deep Strike. So that is something that I'll be playing against the Jarl with, a very soon, and the reason I mentioned Khorne Demonkin is because that's what he's using. So stay tuned for that. That's something that I'm very much looking forward to. Just a 2,000 point game, nothing spectacular really, but yeah, if you do want to hear about that, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a dose of Dragon's Warhammer thoughts, ideas or tips. But until next time, keep those brushes moving, your armies ready and your imagination soaring. See you tomorrow.